Hey everybody, welcome back. We're gonna do for you today is a step-by-step detailed kite instructional video. Now this is gonna be broken up into small chunks just so it's easy to absorb and play back and memorize for when you're offshore trying to implement this into your real life scenarios. And what we're gonna do is today I'm gonna show you the kites we're using most often offshore, how to fill the balloons effectively so you don't pop them and waste helium. And how we fix or adhere the balloon to our kites. Now there's a lot of different ways to do all this stuff. This is just the way that we do it. And a lot of our guys, and this is a lot of the information we give customers in here. And the reason we do it this way is because it's the easiest. And it's the easiest for you to take, absorb, and then go and apply yourself. So we're going to start out here with some of the kites I have. These are obviously some SFE kites. We sell every brand of kite known to mankind in here. I've got every ultralight kite you could possibly think of. What I have in front of me at the moment is one of the ultralight kites from SFE, and this is a medium wind kite from SFE. 90% of the time out there, especially most recreational fishermen are going to be fair weather fishermen, right? You're going to be leaning on your ultralight kites. Now this is one of the lightest kites that SFE makes. It's designed to fly and up to as low as 2 miles an hour of wind. Which is actually really difficult to get most kites to do. Obviously we're going to need the assistance of some helium to do that. We brought a helium tank in and everything just to get you the step-by-step instructions on this one. First we're going to put this kite together real quick. Let's open her up. They even come with a little bit of instructions in there if you're the type of person that likes to read instruction. Most of us are men. We don't read instructions around here. We just go for it, right? So you're going to get a couple pairs of spars in with this kite. You're going to want to unroll it. For the last time, that'll probably be nice and neatly folded up into a bag. And flip her over, right? So this kite is one of the largest ones. The Cali Flyer kite is also pretty large like this. The reason I like it is it catches a lot of surface area of wind, and it's an easy target for you to put your balloon on. Now if you notice on this one, let's see if you can get this, you have all your twine on here. This is holding the kite together, and it's also going to be what you're going to underneath, you're going to strap your snap swivel to coming from your kite rod. All these have little yellow dots on them, right? Just makes it really easy to know what goes where and what. They're all the same dots. And you're going to plug them in like so. Real simple so far, right? All right. Then I take one end here. This one kind of has the most tension on it, so I do it before. The two with the twine have the most tension on them. So I usually do that before I do the loose ends, which will be the ends without any twine to them or rigging to the kite. So we'll turn this a little bit. I'm going to come around here. We'll plug this side in. The last one usually gets a little bit of pressure. Sometimes you got to kind of work with it and really pull it taut. All right. Now you got your kite together and looking good. Everything's even, right? When you're looking at the bottom of the kite, it should look at you like this. See a nice little picture there from the SFEs. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you how to set the balloon up on it. Now these are just a standard 36-inch balloon that we sell here. They are a little thicker than your normal balloon would be. Obviously we're putting like 40-50 bucks worth of helium into them, so we sell a higher quality balloon. You get a 2-pack for $12.99. We usually always have them in stock. I usually will bring 2 packs out with me. That'd be 4 balloons, sometimes a couple more, just in case you pop a balloon. Listen to me, you are going to pop a balloon, maybe even 2. Don't get discouraged. Yes, it costs you a little bit of money, but learning something always costs us a little bit. So just kind of follow these instructions. If you pop one, just repeat and keep going. We've all done it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take our helium tank. I got the little filler nozzle here, right? Get it inside the nipple of the balloon and start. What we're going to do is I'm going to fill this up until the balloon starts to look a little bit translucent-y. Not too much, Now you want to get a full fill out of the balloon so you get as much loft off the helium as you can, and account for the fact that throughout the day you might have a little bit of swelling of the balloon or contracting of the balloon depending on the temperature. That's just kind of how it works. Keep her going here. Kind of can see in the light there how you're starting to see through the blue of the balloon. The white balloons work really good for this too. We always have different colors. It's just all right. So the hard part for me always is obviously tying the nipple of the balloon. All these kites come with these little kite clips, and all you got to do is just twist the nipple of the balloon a bunch, like so. And then, I don't know if you can see this, you just take your kite, your little clip there, and it snaps. It's just a real quick little snap, and it's fine. You know, you're not gonna lose much air or anything like that. The way we do it here, and the way I instruct a lot of guys to do, is go get a cheap roll of electrical tape. And you're going to electrical tape around the nipple of the balloon where you just fastened it closed. Like so. And the one piece of advice I can give anybody while doing this is going to be this right here. Once you stick tape down to the balloon, do not think you're going to take it off and reset it. Once it's on there, it's on there. If you try to reset while you have tape, especially above on the balloon in the softer areas where, you know, if you poke it or have a watch on and poke it, it will pop. Same thing with trying to pull the tape off on there. It will pop. It's not going to go well, so don't do it. What we're going to do though is obviously we want the object of this is to get this to the crosses on here on the kite. Now that's that little intersection there where we attached all the different spars into. Okay, so what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to get that in there. And it doesn't have to be like amazing artwork. You're not being graded on this. You just need to get your balloon up so you can go kill a tuna. All right. Be better if I had brought a pair of scissors, but I didn't. You can always tear the tape. Now comes the harder part. You've already got the balloon onto the kite, right? So what's the kite going to want to do right off the bat while you're trying to rig and do everything else around it? It's going to want to just float and take off. So this is where a buddy on the boat comes in handy. If you got, you know, if you're on a sport fisher, you got some sandals laying around or something nice and flat that's not going to touch the balloon or do anything weird and try and pop it, then now would be a good time to use something like that. I'm just going to use another one of the balloons here, or another one of the kites. See if this helps a little bit. And there you go, right? So 2 sandals would have done the same thing that I just did here by just weighing it down. This is if you're solo and you're trying to do it. If you got a buddy, it's always nice to have someone to hold the kite, just to make it a little bit easier, and you don't want to lose the $200 kite and watch it float away. That hurts. I've done it. We've all been there. It's no fun. So the last step on this to get the balloon to the kite, I'm going to take my tape, and you've got a front end here and a front end here, right? So you are going to want to wrap around the front end of these spars here. Again, you don't have to do an amazing, pretty rig job on here. And I'm going to kind of pull the balloon up to the front here, right? Because I want the point of the balloon being on here and actually taped towards the front. It's going to be so that you create a little bit of loft on the front end of it. You want it catching wind, not just laying there flat and kind of like a buzzkill. It'll catch a little bit of wind like this, but you'll do better if you can get the kite to sit like a normal kite would. I think I just screwed myself here on these. Let's see if I can there we go. Unstick it. So again, we'll pull the balloon a little bit forward. If you notice, I like took off my watch. I don't have anything weird on that could possibly poke and pop the kite. That would be a real bummer, right? So I'm going to go forward a little more, and then I'm going to just fasten the tape down real softly and gently. Remember, once it's down, it's down. You are not going to take this tape off. Go back to this side. Oop. Grab to this side here. I'm going to pull some more tape out and down and around. Stick it to our kite. Come down over here. Woo! And all I'm doing here is just taking the tape and wrapping it around a couple times like I did on the other side. Just make sure it stays down. And once I do that, we'll be pretty much set. All right, so now you got your kite on, your balloon fastened to the kite, and let's turn this around so everybody can kind of see that. So see how I'm just kind of holding it here and the balloon's towards the front end. You've got it kind of sitting up nicely. The one thing I would say is most of this comes pretty much well adjusted for you from the start, right as you open it. It's turnkey, ready to go, right? I would not mess with this piece in the back here. This is adjustment for loft too, and just adjustment on the kite. Don't mess with it. You probably don't need to do anything at all other than make sure your balloon's sitting nicely on the kite and you'll be ready to go. And then you'll take your snap swivel here. And I try and use as light of a snap swivel on here as I can, like a 50, maybe 75-pound snap swivel at the top end. It just keeps everything as light as possible. You want to save weight. You got the little swivel here. We're just going to go into the swivel and snap this puppy back up there, right? Make sure I don't pop this balloon on the ceiling here. So once you got it going, you're ready to go. There's a couple of things you can do. I see a lot of guys want to do a lot of movement and move around while they're fishing the balloon. I've gone like 12, 15 miles an hour with the balloon out before, just pulled the flyer all the way in the air. These can take a lot of strain, especially on a lighter wind day. You can actually buzz around and move around and do some actual searching while you have the kite out. The other option is how I have it set right here. You can just kind of set the kite into the rod holder. Make sure you use rod leashes too, guys. I don't know how many times I've probably seen loose kite reels just roaming around, or someone trying to chase their kite reel down because they didn't tie it down. They took off, they saw a little spot of fish. Now all of a sudden your $200 kite and your $600, $700 combo for flying the kite is in the drink and slowly sinking down, and you're trying to chase after it, or it's floating away. All right, one more really important part to this. Obviously, you need a nice light snap swivel, and we're going to tie that snap swivel to your kite rod and kite line. This is 80-pound line, and all I'm doing here, I'm going to tie a double San Diego, which is nothing further than just doubled over line and a simple San Diego jam knot tied. no real rhyme or reason why I do a double. It just makes me feel better in my head that I got doubled over line, extra chafe resistance, just in case. I don't want to lose a $200 kite and all the effort we went into putting the balloon on the kite. So what we're going to do real quick, I'm going to hook it to an eye here just to make it easier for you guys to see as I tie this knot. And we're going to take that doubled over line, try and get it nice and narrow there so that you can fit it through the eye of that. And then we simply tie a San Diego jam knot here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And all you're going to do is you're going to pass that through right here. Go in and then back up through the loop in the top here and tighten it down nicely. And you got yourself a nice little connection knot. You'll have 3 tag ends when you do a doubled over knot like this, right? So you've got your main line end, then you have your 2 tag lines. Make sure you cut the right one or you'll be redoing this knot. There's the doubled over and the single. There we go. And then we'll just simply take this puppy here and grab our kite. Connect your barrel swivel here to your snap swivel. Make sure you close it like so. And you're ready to go, man. That's it. That's all it takes. What we're going to talk about next is distance from kite to reel before you start putting your kite clips on. I generally go like 60 to 80 feet, sometimes in between there a little bit. I do loops. I don't put the actual kite release clips onto my line and inline and break them with swivels. And the reason I don't do that is a lot of them will saw off over time. I've had the black clips with the white one especially. It's got a larger hole and a little less area between it being sawed through and not. So for that reason, we rig our kite up a little bit different and our release clip up a little different. I do loops in my line, and that way I can put it wherever I want. If I need to add a balloon in the middle, which we showed in another video before, I can. It's a real simple way to get yourself on a really light wind day, not just having to use a balloon only and then losing that 50 bucks in helium or 40 bucks in helium every time you catch a fish. For this point, you are going to actually have to do your loops on the line and get ready to set yourself up, or you're going to have to pre-measure your line up and set your kite clips in line. However you want to do it is up to you. But that generally sets up your kite. You're off to the races. You're ready to go. You're fastened to the balloon's fastened well to the cross beam on the kite. You've got it laying forward on the kite itself, and you got perfectly good loft. You're ready to go on this one and go catch a fish. All right, guys, so that'll about sum up our first segment of the kite fishing video. You kind of saw the real life scenario of setting up a kite in a balloon that wants to fly away from you the whole time. Make sure you have a buddy to help hold down the kite. Makes life a lot easier, or something quality to really weigh down the kite while you're trying to set everything up. Our next segment is going to be on tackle and gear selection. So rods we see people prefer, and reels we see people prefer to fight the fish on. Also different varieties of kite setups, electric kite reels, non-electric, whatever it may be. Stay tuned. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments below or call the shop. Talk to me, Drew, any of the guys that work in here, all proficient on the kite fishing. We can give you detailed instructions. We can give you sort of a drawing of it. It may not be very good. Don't grade us on it, but it'll get the point across. Thanks a lot, guys. Stay tuned for the next selection.